Hey guys, now we're looking at remainder and factor theorems, and we've kind of looked at this already, but just without explicitly telling you that that's what it is. And so when we divided polynomials, we went through a few examples where the divisor actually had no remainders, okay? And if that is the case, then that quotient, or sorry, the divisor is a factor of the initial polynomial because there is no remainder. There is nothing left after you've done the division. If there are remainders, then obviously it's not a factor. So I want to go through some examples of when we can test out certain things without having to do the whole long process of division. What I mean by that, if we have x cubed minus 7x squared minus 2x plus 4, and let's say we have x minus 3 as one example and say x plus 6 as another. So I want to know if x minus 3 is a factor of this polynomial without having to do the full division, because that's going to take a long time. So the quickest way of doing this is actually doing what we did with the previous video and looking at polynomial values and substituting a value into this expression to see if there is a remainder or if it equates to 0. So I'm going to show you looking through this. Okay, so let's say instead of minus 3, we're going to substitute x with a positive 3. Okay, so that's going to be the rule of thumb. It's always going to be the opposite polarity. Okay, so we'll have 3 cubed minus 7, 3 squared minus 2 times 3 plus 4. Okay, so all I've done is just substitute like before. 27. Now 3 squared is 9, so minus 63 minus 6 plus 4. And when we put all of that together, we should have minus 38. So because this is a minus 38, therefore it is not a factor. Okay, so not a factor because we have that value there. Okay, let's look at it again with x plus 6. So what I'll do is I will just clear this out and do exactly the same thing, but in this case we'll have p of minus 6. Okay, so we'll have minus 6 all cubed, minus 7 times minus 6 all squared, minus 2 times minus 6 plus 4. Minus 6 all cubed is going to be minus 216. Then minus 6 all squared is 36. 36 times minus 7 is going to be minus 252. And then minus 2 times minus 6 is going to be positive 12 plus 4. Put all of that into your calculator. And then you'll end up getting minus 452. So what we have here, again, not a factor because this is your remainder. Just like in the previous example that I just did, minus 38 is the remainder. So if a question asks you, what is the remainder once you divided it by this expression there, all you need to do is substitute x for the polynomial value, which is always going to be the reverse of what's inside. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to go through another example where we're going to look at and find some other elements. Okay, so what we have here, we have a polynomial, x cubed plus kx squared plus x minus 2. We've opened up with a statement that's saying that x minus 2 is a factor, okay? So once you divided this by x minus 2, you end up getting no remainders, and you'll end up getting your quotient in the end, right? So what we need to do is we need to work out what k is. And it's as simple as substituting our values. So we've got a -2 here, so we're going to work out what p of 2 is and put this into our equation. And once we've done that, we can actually work out what k is. All right, as simple as that. So we got 2 cubed plus k times 2 squared plus 2 minus 2. K, 2 squared is just 4. These 2's cancel out. And we have 2 cubed is 8 plus 4k. So what we do from here is we move this across. So we got -8 is equal to 4k, and k is going to equal to -2. So what we have is our polynomial is going to be x cubed plus, not plus, sorry, minus 2x squared plus x minus 2. And if we actually divided that, I'm just going to move this across. If we divided that by the x minus 2, you will end up getting, so this is, I'm just going to wrap everything and put everything into place and do the long version, and I'm going to put the p of 2 here again as well afterwards. So let's look at this. So leading term, we have x squared. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times -2 is -2x squared. And then what we're left with is we're going to subtract one from the other. They cancel out. It's just nothing, which is great. And then we're going to move on to the x here, and we could have the -2 across as well. And so x divided by x is just 1. Okay, and so 1 times x is just x, and then 1 times -2 is -2, and if we subtract one from the other, we get nothing. So the quotient is x squared plus 1. The dividend is x minus 2, which is a factor. Okay, and we're going to move on to the left-hand side, where we can actually put in the p-value into the polynomial, and we'll end up getting 0. Okay, so this is all good ways to check if you get it right. So we said -2x squared plus x minus 2. So 2 times, so 2 cubed is 8, and then 2 squared is 4. 4 times -2 is -8. And then 2 times x is 2 minus 2, and we end up getting 0. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Let me know if you have any questions.